The UK Chase says they are going to ban crypto transactions. I'm guessing that'll be Bitcoin as well. They don't want you in their system. Outlined in this book as well, outlined one world currency. They thought it was going to be paper then. Well, that's what they have a CBDC for, to take you out of the system and not allow you to be able to transact. And it's literally outlined in this book. And this is the world we are living in. Quite honestly, this is a world that I've been preparing for. It's a world that I hope you've been preparing for, because we are here. First they laugh at you, then they fight you, and then they join you. Well, we're in the fight you stage. And they are coming after your monetary freedom. They don't control. Governments don't control money. Money only comes from value creation between two individuals. Governments don't produce money. We've let them issue currency, but only real money, real value comes between two people. Currency, or money, is a store of value. Really only money. Currency isn't a store of value, but money is a store of value, a container for your time and energy. We've been given a currency by governments that have an inflation leak. That's why they're currency. Money is finite. Bitcoin is the first money we've ever had that's perfectly finite. Even gold and silver has an inflation rate. So it's the first time we have a finite container to pour our time and energy into, and it doesn't leak out the bottom. This is the game changer. This is what defunds all the apparatus. This is what aligns all incentives for people. Again, there should be no cash or coinage in the hands of the elite, of the non-elite. All transactions shall be carried out by means of a debit card, which shall bear the identification number of the holder, which you will be branded with as well. That's what it's saying. You'll be branded with the number in your identification card, and your debit card will have that. And remember, this is published in 1990, 1992, well before digital cash. Such persons will find when they go to make purchases that their card is blacklisted, and they will not be able to obtain services of any kind. Attempts to trade old coins, as they say, silver coins of previous or now defunct nations, will be treated as capital crime and subjected to the ultimate penalty. And this goes on and on and on. If the offense is a serious one, the card will be seized at the checking point where it is presented. Therefore, that person shall not be able to obtain food, water, shelter, employment, medical services, and shall be officially listed as an outlaw. Large bands of outlaws will thus be created, and they will live in regions that best afford subsistence, subject to being hunted. Persons assisting outlaws in any way whatsoever shall likewise be shot. Outlaws who fail to surrender to police or military shall be declared, after a declared period of time, shall have a former family member selected at random to serve their sentence. And this goes on and on and on. So now is CBDCs. This is why, as some of you have asked over time, this is why I say Bitcoin or slavery. We will choose Bitcoin and freedom, or we will choose CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, and slavery, as outlined by the apparatus here. By those at the top, the banking families for the last 300-400 years that have been designing this. And again, you might ask, again, why, this spans generations, Brandon, like why would anyone care? Well, because when you understand the generational game, when you understand the generational family unit that has been broken away from us, and they've destroyed the nuclear family, again, purposely. We've talked about the 45 communist goals. This is written into Congress, or written in the 50s and read into Congress in 1963. Destroying the American family, or the nuclear family in America, was one of the big goals. So we've gone through this, we've talked about this. I have a video talking about every single one of these goals from a year ago. And when you put this all together, you realize that these generational families, currency, money, it's no objective to them. They have limitless amounts. It's infinite to them because they conjure it up out of thin air. So when that's no objective to you, what is the thing that's fun to you at that point, right? Controlling human beings, parading human beings around, ultimate power, being a god. That's what these families over the last 300-400 years, because again, it was hard to do 1,000 years ago. You didn't have the means to be traveling easy across oceans or flying around. Now it's very easy. That's why we've seen this speed up. We had ships, real armies, firearms, mass firearms. The last 300-400 years, ability to take this and go pillage countries, African countries, Indians, the East, the Far East, and the British East India Company, the Dutch East India Company. We talked about this in another video as well. But they were able to go around and take populations and pillage them and ransack their resources. And this is only really been able to be done over the last 300-400 years in conjunction of the broken currency system of IOUs, of fiat, of paper. Now we have the ultimate solution to it. So these families, they They want to keep power. They want to keep wealth. When you control the currency printer and you have ultimate power to do whatever you want, literally whatever. I mean, think about anything in your life you want to do, like anything ridiculous, anything at all. Like I'm talking about the most ridiculous stuff, and you can do it. You can call in one call, and then that will get done. Boom, 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 boom. Like I'm passing a bridge on the highway in some random state, and I can just have it removed, just done, gone. I mean, think about that. Like literally, like I'm giving an absurd example because that's what can be done. And that's why we have movies like The Sound of Freedom. So you might want to go look into that. That's why we have that, the ultimate game that the people at the top are playing. That's why we have that under attack so much. So you can read between the lines there and you kind of do your own research on that for now. But we're trying to ride the line here. Let's just say that. I've been very compelled to talk about many things that I do know, and that I forget the saying that there's many things I do know that I shall never say, but I'll never say the things that I don't know. I can't remember exactly what it is, but we're trying to ride the line here of not being taken out ourselves, and also get the message out. I do a lot of praying on this, quite honestly, and at times it feels dark, and it is very dark, but there has to be people that stand and say, hey, this is what I see, these are the things I'm studying, these are the things I'm reading, these are the things that I'm learning, these are the things that I'm doing. And my wish, my hope is that there's more and more people that start voicing truth and shedding light on darkness, because that's the only way is to overwhelm the system. We only need a few percent of people. The American Revolution was fought by 3% of the people, really, and that fervor and that accelerated everything. People joined in the cause. That's all we need. We only need a few percent of the people to affect massive change and change the world over. And if you don't control the money, we've seen 300-400 years of the same things happening over and over again. And why is that? Because there's a select few that have control of the printer, of the currency printer, of the monetary digits now in a computer, and they're trying to do it now again with the CBDCs. If you give them ultimate control with the CBDC, game over, lights out. You just heard it here. You will be an outlaw if you don't use their system.